5645660. Connected to node 5645662.
WU7N testing.
Hi, James. You're 5x5 K7ITX.
Thank you, Richard. Standing by for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, top of the hour. Anybody's welcome to check in and check out or join the conversation.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that go onto the air with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater on Cougar Mountain and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll find the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, a little bit of history of our group, and also you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we simulcast our audio on our 2-meter WW7ATS station 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before the net gets underway. After hearing none, this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. So far checked in is Richard, K7ITX, James, WU7N, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else wishing to check into the net?
N7QO.
Jim, N7QO, thanks for that. Okay, welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Let's start off with Richard, K7ITX. And no response on Richard, K7ITX. Let's move down to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, beautiful day today. Not a whole lot to talk about. Mostly I stayed at the house today doing things inside. I'm still playing catch-up on, well, heck, I'm going to be playing catch-up until I die of old age here. Accumulating all this stuff around the house, and definitely a lot of work to do. Yard work, the house needs paint, the roof needs cleaning, just the mundane tasks which you wind up having to do. And had someone to help me, but not sure what happened to him. So now I'm trying to find a plan B for a couple of things around the house here. Let's see. I don't know. I had a couple of aircraft incidents within the past day or two. Kind of strange, but that's the way it works. Back to you, Dave, for now, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. Let's pick up James, WU7N at Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, Dave, I'm bringing up my app now. Stand by one, please.
Dan, Whiskey Uniform 7 November, Northeast Bellevue. All right, sounds like I'm coming through on 2 meters just fine. Big thanks to Wade. I guess he was up at the site there. Must have done a lot of work up there. I was at a birthday party today for my great nephew. That is, he's not my nephew, he's my great nephew. So I'm learning, we were trying to decide there at the party, was that a great nephew or am I a great nephew? We decided I'm just a great nephew. And turn that light off there. See, turn these lights on here, see if that helps any. It does a little bit. Okay, it's a little better lighting, I guess. Well, let's see. A couple of things. I was successful in getting the NVA going. I was testing some attenuators, and heeding Carlos's advice, I started to try and get things organized a little bit. So this is all things attenuator or VNA related in one bag. And I found I had misplaced the most important attenuator, which was the one with the largest attenuation. But the good news is it does seem like the attenuators do what they're supposed to do. Had to play around a great deal with the Nano NVA before I finally got it to work like I expected it to. Now the big test will be, will I be able to get it to do that again? I can see I'm going to have to get a very functionally oriented notebook. I don't know if I showed you the only thing that actually comes with it. I'll open this up here, stand by. There is a flow chart here, which you can see. I guess that's the flow chart. But the flow chart alone doesn't tell you enough. I mean, I guess they assume some knowledge, but not of Mandarin Chinese. Just kidding. Here's an English edition on the back here. Let me see when that flips over on the transmitter. And yeah, so, but even then, like for example, I just found a YouTube video of somebody doing exactly what I wanted to do. And so there is, under display, there's something called, I can't even find it here, log mag.
WU7N, you seem to cut out. Are you okay? WU7N.
Okay, and I guess I lost everybody somewhere and all that. I see I'm disconnected from server. This will be an interesting night. Go ahead, Dave. Take it away.
Well, this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Oh my, what a beautiful day it was today. A little bit on the hazy side in the morning, but it cleared up in the afternoon. Ended up watering my roadies outside and domestic chores inside the house this afternoon. and then watched a lot of soccer. So anyway, that's pretty much what I did today. So not too memorable, but we did have our board meeting this morning, and that was good to participate in. So with that, we'll have to move on and see if Bob, K9PQ, is with us.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope that you're hearing me okay. I forgot to bring my headset today, so no headset. You might get a little bit of wind noise. I turned up the volume. I'm hearing you guys just fine. Let me switch around the camera here. There you go. You can see what's out in front of me. I'm down at the city park as my usual spot. I haven't gotten very adventurous. The one other park I tried, my cell phone coverage was really bad. So here's a new little shelter somebody made. No signs of occupation. I think this one's just for fun. And you can see up above there's a shelter for picnicking, and further in the background, not sure how well it's showing up, further in the background there is a kind of a bandstand back there. So yeah, it's nice, it's cool, the wind is blowing, but it's just a beautiful evening. So I will send it.
Thank you, K9PQ, Bob. Let's see if we can pick up Richard again, K7ITX in Kent.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see if we can pick up Richard again.
So, anyway, I'm not sure how. Well, I do know that the pictures that Bob had were fantastic. So thanks a lot for that, Bob. I'm trying to send a picture, but it just doesn't seem to want to come on the air for some reason. Maybe I need a new token. Well, anyway, I'm able to watch other people. I'm sorry I can't put out a picture tonight. We'll talk to Carlos about a token. Anyway, let me take a break for a second. So yeah, I agree. It was a beautiful day. Debbie and I, we went to up in the woods of Snoqualmie, just outside of the city, in a beautiful wooded home and area with about 3.5 acres of grass and trees. Beautiful place to have a picnic, and that it was a group that I'm just about to join up with. It's a post-lung transplant people, recipients, I guess you'd call us. And it's a small, tight little niche. Surprisingly, about half the lung transplant patients, as myself, seem to be on kidney dialysis. So that's a common problem for us when we get the kidney transplant. That not a kidney transplant, when we get a lung transplant. Gosh, if I'm speaking myself, I hope you know what I mean. Yeah, it's people with lung transplants get kidney disease, and and I was very interested to hear other people's stories, like myself. It was, I don't know, somewhat emotional. It was very a comrade-like event, and we all kind of decided that we're going to stay in touch with each other, whether it's Zoom or Facebook, things of that nature. We're going to stick together and try to help each other out through our upcoming adventure with our new lungs. So anyway, this is K7ITX, and I just saw Wade flash by. Back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
All right, guys, can you hear me okay? No?
All right, guys.
Oh, there we go. I can hear myself. Wow, what a day. Yeah, went up to Cougar this morning with my son, and we worked on the DATV repeater, and we got the LNA fixed, so that's why you're able to see your picture on there. Very nice day. I just took a little short nap, and I was having some difficulties with my coax. So you know how it goes. It doesn't happen once; it happens twice or three times. But yeah, good day, and nice seeing you guys. And I'll turn it back to net control. This is W7ITL.
W7ITL, thanks with that. Let's move on to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, yeah, I got no video from you on a television repeater. Good audio, but no video. Let's see. You said you are a great nephew. Well, that's outstanding. I am only a good nephew, not a great nephew. Okay, so you were talking, and the last thing we heard, I heard the words display log mag, and then you cut out. I hope that helps you know where you were. Anyway, Dave, watered roadies, soccer, board meeting. Yeah, sounds like Saturday to me. Bob, hear you fine. The video was intermittent. I got a couple of pictures, but then it looked like maybe someone, possibly Wade, rebooted something. So maybe maybe something changed there. Having said that, Dick, I got no video from you on a television repeater. Good audio though, and I think that's really good that you're joining up with fellow transplant recipients there. It's a shame that half of them are on dialysis. They give you these anti-rejection medicines, and they unfortunately are really hard on your kidneys. That's discouraging to hear that about half of the people wind up needing a kidney transplant as well. Wow, I feel for you, and gives me a new perspective on what a lot of people have to go through there. I was wondering how so many people wind up on dialysis. Well, that certainly is one significant reason why. Wade, good to see you. Good picture, good audio. Thank you very much for working at the repeater, and you fixed the LNA on the DATV repeater. We appreciate that. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. Let's move on to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, I'll try again this time and see what happens.
WU7N, testing. WU7N, Northeast Bellevue. WU7N. Okay. All right. So I just got audio, and it says I'm on the air. I see my call sign popped up. I'll pay more attention to what I'm showing everybody this time. Okay, so flip it around.
And it's
So that this is the Nano NVA. I don't know how much of this is really coming through because I've got about a 6-second lag. The idea of this box is that you put a signal out here, it goes through something, and then it comes back, and then you can see the comparison of the go out versus the go in here on the screen. And I'll turn this on here. And this is interesting. Okay, so I turned it on, and this is the opening screen. It's showing every single trace you could possibly see on this, which is pretty worthless. So tomorrow's test is going to be, can I get this down to something useful? Again, because I don't know if anybody heard me say this last time, but the good news is I was able to successfully test all of my attenuators, and they did do approximately what they were supposed to do. I followed Carlos's advice, and I did some little inventory control and cleanup and got everything in one bag, and I think that's going to be followed by maybe some drawers or something. But it all worked. I would have expected those attenuators to work because they really weren't that big of bargains. Some of them were, up there around $5 each. But they do seem to do reasonably close to what they're supposed to do. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. So anyway, that's anyone who knows what a log mag means, I guess that was log is logarithm. What does MAG mean? If anybody knows that, let me know. That's a research item for me. I just found a YouTube video with a guy doing exactly what I wanted to do, test attenuators with a very similar Nano NVA, and he just said that's the scale, that's what you do. And I followed his steps, and at first I couldn't get it to work, but persistence pays, because eventually I was able to get these things tested. So that was kind of a giant word for me for the day. Next time around, I'll show you something kind of humorous I found with some other things I got from AliExpress. So I don't know how many of, it's already 24 minutes after the hour. I was going to say if there's only 4 or 5 of us, maybe I'll go as long as you guys want to go. But if you want to quit early, that's okay too. So let me turn it back to Dave. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Back to you, Dave.
WU7N, thanks with that, and get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, here in Lake City, I've got 70 degrees and sunny outside, so it's a rather nice evening weather-wise. And everything seems to be working well thanks to Wade and his efforts going up to the site to get everything functioning again with digital television receiving and transmitting. As from my point here in Lake City, it's 100% both transmitting and receiving and working very well. So with that, we'll go up to Bob again in Oak Harbor, K9PQ.
Okay, good evening again. I have to look at the name of this again. I was wrong. It's not a bandstand. It is a pavilion. And let me turn the camera around. You can see right there, pavilion. And I will show you as I walk out of the pavilion so you can get an idea of what it is. By the way, you can see blue sky up there, but there's no sun. Everywhere is in shade. Where the sun is in the sky is behind a solid dark overcast. So now you can see the bandstand appearing behind me, or I said it again, the pavilion appearing behind me. I'll switch back to the front again and turn around. So there's the pavilion. They have over here a little, what did they call it? Teachers something garden. A little hard to read. Teachers Tribute Garden. And they have leave a book, take a book. It looks like the book's got a little bit wet there, but we've got a nice little garden here. Oh good, I didn't want to intrude on these people, but right down here is a little play area with a nice, looks like possibly a concrete sculpture, bronze sculpture, something like that, of a seal, a large one. And so let's see what else is going on. Had a nice 4th. It was, we had I can't remember if I talked with you guys about this on the net already. Sorry if I did. We had a nice potluck. About half of the people in the cottage of the cottages showed up. About 18 people were there, and we have 37 cottages total. So it was a really nice turnout. And then we watched the fireworks that happened right here in this park. We watched the fireworks from our cottage. Just actually right behind my cottage was the best location. Now I have no idea what this thing is, but behind my cottage was the best location for the fireworks from our property. So yeah, just seeing a few different places in the park here. I'm headed back down toward the water again, and of course you can see the sun in the distance, but nothing here. Everywhere for miles around here that I can see is we all have the clouds between us. In fact, I'll turn back this way, and you can see they are approaching. They're getting closer. Whoops, sorry about that. We're getting closer and closer, but they're very solid out there in the distance. Okay, I think that's good from now. I'll send it back. K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. Let's see if we can pick up Richard again, K7ITX in Kent.
Okay. Well, Bob, great video, perfect audio. I wish I could, I don't know why I can't do any video, but that's just how it is right now. I seem to be getting out on 2 meters. I like the seal sculpture and whatever was above it, some ivy-laden tree, I don't know. That was pretty cool. and that the unusual outcropping. And boy, you're right about the clouds. You had a real good video of the clouds moving in on you and encroaching in your area. Fortunately, we still got some sun here. Boy, it was really a nice sunny blue sky at our picnic. That's for darn sure. Yeah, I'm still kind of recovering from the 4th. That was a big weekend for me. 3 days of sports car racing. Our car is racing this weekend in Portland. I've been keeping track of our Renault-built Nissan engine with a Mercedes badge, tubular frame, fiberglass body, a midjet. He had the fastest time for his class, so that was good. But amongst all the cars that are there, that are going for the Rose Cup, he came in 20th position out of 30 cars. So it's going to be a tough battle for the Rose Cup. But when he races in his class only, he's looking pretty good. So I'm not sure how things are going to turn out tomorrow morning, but I'll be watching him on my connection with the timing and scoring in real time that I have. So that should be really interesting. And Bob, as far as, excuse me, stand by. I meant Covington Gym, this plane incident where the window in the 737 failed and sucked the passenger just about all the way out, and people, they just had to hang on to his legs to keep him from flying out the window at 15,000 feet. Boy, it makes you think twice now when you sit next to a window, for crying out loud. But I guess it wasn't the window that failed. One of the blades from the jet engine broke loose and flew into the window and broke the window and caused the failure. So really, it wasn't the window; it was the engine that failed, that broke the window, that almost sucked the guy out. Wasn't that crazy? Anyway, maybe that's what you were referring to. I'm sorry if I should not have gone into the details, but extremely interesting, and the guy survived. So fortunately, it wasn't a fatality. That's for goodness sake, that's great. All right, well, I think that's enough from me. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. Yeah, let's pick up Wade again. W7ITL in Tacoma.
Test. All right. Let's see if I got audio. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got audio. Wow. Cloudy day over there, and where you're at, Bob. And that was a good scene behind you with the trees. Yeah, I always like your videos going and showing the different parts of the beach where you live. Really don't have a lot more to say tonight, to be honest. It's been a pretty good night, though, and yeah, I didn't know anything about that new plane incident. That's sad to hear, but it's also good to hear that the person survived. I don't know how well he survived, but that's definitely something to say. Yeah, lots of plane maintenance issues lately. All right, well, I'll turn it back to Net Control. Dave, this is W7ITL.
W7ITL, thanks for that. Let's go to Covington to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, good video and good audio now. Mag, I don't know. I just pulled out a college textbook here, and there's probably, 20 or 25 pages on Smith charts, and I didn't notice anything here that said mag. So I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of pamphlet with that little tiny VNA that you've got or something. Don't know exactly what to make of that. Bob, good video and good audio now. Thank you very much for that walking tour. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Isn't it interesting that as we would walk around different places, you look at some relic or some sculpture or whatever, and you scratch your head and go, what is that? Yeah, that one thing in particular that you pointed out, I don't know, it looks like something that fell out of the sky and just wound up there, and there was a starfish hanging onto the side of it. That was anyway. It's cool to see the pictures. Dick, picnic, still recovering from the 4th, but racing this weekend in Portland. Yeah, sounds like you had a really good time, and I would definitely need some time to recover from that as well. I'm not as young as I used to be. I guess we're all getting older. Yeah, that 737 window. Yeah, pretty much the engines with which I'm familiar are supposed to have a Kevlar shield inside the nacelle, so that it is supposed to contain a failure like that. The parts should thrash around in the engine, and nothing should be flying out the side of the engine to impale the fuselage. In this case, yeah, I guess it busted the window, and that was not good. It was especially not good for one passenger. Yeah, glad he survived. Hope he recovers from that. Some of these injuries, we just never recover from them. We can get better, but never really recover. I hope the man well, and it's a good thing that he was on good terms with his wife. I guess his wife grabbed his legs and held on to him. Wow. Wade, yeah, I agree with what you said about Bob's videos there. Thank you, Bob, for the videos. Wade said it well. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Well, let's go back and pick up James, WU7N.
Okay, Dave, thanks. Let me see if the third time's a charm here.
WU7N, Whiskey Uniform 7 November. Okay, we got audio on 2 meters, and I've got it on the air. And looking over at streaming, I see a call sign, and we're off like a herd of turtles. I got video here. All right. Well, I did figure out what log mag means, I think. I think it means logarithmic magnitude. And that just displays the signal strength on a logarithmic scale, which would make sense because the little attenuators are labeled like 3 dB, meaning 3 dB down. A minus in front of the dB means it's a drop of the signal of 3 dB. So that solves that mystery. And I suppose if I fed a signal into one of these attenuators and it came back 0 dB, or it just came back an infinite amount of loss, like, the same as if the cables are not connected, then that would mean the connector is defective, or it was not the right size. It wasn't a confidence builder that these things, I got everything I ordered, but apparently maybe somebody was checking because every bag had the wrong sized attenuator inside of it. And that was not a confidence builder, but I'll show you something kind of interesting here. This is a little transistor kit. I didn't need 200 transistors, but it was actually less expensive to buy this than just buying a couple of transistors. But what's interesting is, as you can see, there's 20 transistors in each little cube here, right? I mean, and they're listed right here. I don't know if I can see this or not. I have to look. Okay, yeah, okay, we got a pretty good picture here. But what's interesting is they all seem to be, at least they're labeled what they're supposed to be. But the 20 transistors that should have been in this little cube over here, they actually ended up being in this cube, and the ones that were supposed to be in this cube ended up being over here. So I had to pull out 20, set them aside, put these 20 over here, and then put the others back where they belong. So anyway, a couple surprises here. One of these is a Darlington pair, very high gain, but lower frequency response. So I guess I got my $3 or $4 worth, whatever it was here. With that, so let me camera back on here. Okay, here I am back again. And so anyway, a couple things. Jim, I'm sorry your household helper disappeared. If you find a good one that does bathrooms, let me know. In aircraft incidents, what I want to know, I read that his wife held on to his legs to keep him from being completely sucked out of the aircraft. So I guess that says something. If he'd had a really big insurance policy, maybe she would have been pushing instead of pulling. I don't know. Bob, thank you very much for the park pictures and the clouds. That's always interesting to see those things. And Richard, post-transplant people, that sounds like a good group to be in touch with to compare notes and such. And W7ITL, if you're still with us here, thank you very much for all the work you did on the repeater. I was going to ask if you wanted to meet up there today, but as I said, I was involved in a social engagement way up north. It was quite a drive to get up there and then be there and then come back. So I think I was disposed for the day. So let's see what else is going on here. I guess that's about it. Oh, I did find out something else that's kind of interesting. These little boards. Okay, work. Okay, I'm looking around here. Okay, so I've got these little boards. Let me see when they come up here. It's W7N. Okay, I don't see myself yet. Okay, this is why these boards were so cheap. You can see on here it says on, and in all the binary world, on means 1, and the other is 0. Well, I think what happened is these things were put in upside down on this board because it's kind of like reading Hebrew. You have to start at the right and go to the left, with the least significant digit being on the right as I'm displaying it right now. And then on is really a 0. So this is 0, 1, 1. So I guess that's why these little boards were such a great deal. So anyway, with that, I'll turn it back to Dave. Flip my back around. See how long it takes. Yeah, I have a little focusing problem with close-ups, I guess. So this is WU7N in Northeast Bellevue, and I'll go ahead and turn it back to you right now, Dave.
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. I would say it was kind of interesting with that man that had a problem with a window seat, but they did have another good line that went with that whole episode, that he remained seat belted in his seat, so more power to him for doing that. A lot of times passengers just neglect once you get in the air and just unload the seat belt, and boy, that's where a lot of accidents happen with turbulence. So anyway, he's lucky he survived, and he'll be able to tell his grandchildren about that, that's for sure. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and let's see if we can find Bob again, K9PQ, up on Whidbey Island.
Okay, well, you're finding me at home now. It got a little bit chilly, so I drove home. I was able to watch, sort of watch. Of course, I was watching where I was going, but see a little bit of the video and listen to everybody on the way home. So I was able to kind of keep in touch with what was going on. I did not hear about the airplane story, but it sounds harrowing. I saw a video just today, by coincidence. There was kind of an uplifting airline story. Everyone was sitting in the plane, ready. I think they were ready to pull away from the ramp. I don't think they quite had yet, but they were just getting ready to pull away from the ramp, and there had been some warning indicator that they had told the passengers about. And so in this video, the pilot came on and said, "Well, the ground crew says we're good to go, but I'm still showing this indicator, and I need to make an executive decision here, and I'm afraid I do not trust that we will, going over, so many miles of water that we can be sure not to have a problem, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to get off the plane, and we'll get you another plane." And the uplifting part of it was, rather than complaining, what you heard was applause from the passengers, which was really cool. I think I would be one of those people applauding. Okay, with that, I'll send it on back. This is K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. And let's see if we can pick up Richard again, K7ITX.
Oh, yeah, Bob, that is a very uplifting story. Thanks for relaying that. I didn't hear that, but I think I would have been applauding as well. That's pretty cool. So let's see, I got a lot of pictures from my son up in the Bellingham area. He's got his nephew with him. Looks like he must be about 10 or 11 years old, and took quite a few pictures of him in the sports car, the 1929 Gazelle, Mercedes Gazelle that my dad built, a replica that's true to life, and it looks like his little nephew really enjoyed getting behind the seat, the driver's seat. It was pretty cute and looked like a lot of fun. So, James, that is very intuitive on your part to come up with the Hebrew definition of on with switching. That was a real good lesson on your part to us. I never would have thought of it that way, but good on you. That's pretty amazing if you want to know the truth. So anyway, just looking for a quiet day tomorrow. Got to get organized, so we have a garage sale coming up next week, and we got to get organized for that. Should be kind of fun, actually. Be nice to get things situated and get rid of some junk and get a few bucks for it at the same time. So with that, probably won't make it back to me, so I'll say 73 to everybody. Thank you, Wade, for your good pictures and all your work at the site. Hopefully I'll be able to get my video back. I don't know, I think like I said before, I think I need a new token for my iPhone, and maybe I can get my video back up again. So, again, 73, everybody, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's pick up Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. And no response on W7ITL. Let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Jim. Log Mag. I think I was looking for two separate definitions, one for each term, and you came up with a conclusion that one definition for both of them combined. That makes sense. Oh yeah, you said something about big insurance policy? Huh. I haven't thought about that. That's an incentive to have less insurance on my carcass. Oh my goodness. Food for thought, Jim. Food for thought. And the micro switches there. Yeah, it's quality control, but it may be a little difficult to harangue these guys too much. They may not really read English all that well, so at least there are English characters on the switches and an English word there. I imagine if they were in Chinese, it could anyway. So that's probably a good reason why they were so inexpensive. Dave, yes, you made a suggestion. Always keep your seatbelt fastened, and I have to agree with that, except when you need to get up to go to the restroom. You just never know what's going to happen. There have only been a handful of times that it was a problem for me, but I have definitely seen strange things happen before. Bob, you look very relaxed at home. That's good. And you never want to disappoint passengers, but if you think it might be unsafe, you should let maintenance have a look. And better to be on the ground wishing you were flying rather than in the air wishing you were on the ground. And I think it's pretty rare to have a spare airplane. That's very unusual. There are so many intricacies to running an airline. I am constantly amazed at how smoothly things operate. Everything has to come together. Crew members who are trained on that aircraft. Typically, maintenance is done on the aircraft during the middle of the night, and so they plan ahead that a certain airplane needs to be overnighting in a particular city, so they will send parts to that particular city, planning to replace something during that night. So if the airplane's not there, it could be grounded. If the part is not there, it could potentially be grounded. It amazes me all the time how smoothly things have to work, and that they do work. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. And let's go pick up James, WU7N.
All right, it looks like I've got audio coming through. Well, here I'll show you, Jim. This is the little training board that I purchased for $8 or $9. And I don't know if you can see, but there's actually some Chinese characters down here. So I guess it'll be a trick to magnify that, take a picture of it, and find out what those mean. There's also some Chinese characters up here, and this is a little training board I got because these over here, I now understand what these are supposed to do. You have an input. Let me make sure that this comes over. You have an input that you input into one side of your network vector analyzer, and then you have an output, and then it makes, in this case, a band stop filter of 6.5 megahertz is what this lettering up here says. I don't know if you can read that or not. And here's the components that would comprise of that. Likewise over here. These over here are a bit of a mystery to me because it shows a fairly complex parallel circuit, but there's only one place to connect this. And so usually when you're just connecting one side, what you're trying to find out is what's reflecting back. For example, you connect one side of the network vector analyzer and it'll tell you about standing wave ratios on an antenna. So likewise, you've got over here with one. But I had to kind of chuckle because down here, this is exactly what I was doing with my devices. You can see this is a 10 dB attenuator right here. And that's exactly what you do. You put a signal in this side, it goes through the attenuator, and it comes out this side, and it should measure 10 dB down with 5 dB per square right here and here. So So anyway, it was good to see that at least I seem to be on track. And here's one next door, 3 dB, as you can see, is a I guess that's what 3 dB is right here. Anyway, looks like we're out of time, so I will turn this back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. This is James WU7N in Northeast Bellevue, turning it back.
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this has been the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. And we'd like to thank those that participated in the net this evening for digital amateur television broadcast in the DVB-T format. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, terminating the net at 9:01. Good evening all.